Welcome to the Abundance Journey, the show that helps spiritual entrepreneurs create an abundance mindset that accelerates revenue. Secretly, everything you experience in your life is actually abundance. Once you understand how to activate abundance, you find yourself in flow with your business and clients, so it's easy to create the revenue you want. The Abundance Journey is the only show that activates abundance for you, so you enjoy rapid results in your business. Here's your host, the Abundance Ambassador, Elaine Starling.
You have probably heard of the concept of mind over matter, right? Well, we're going to expand on that idea today by looking at how our minds actually shape matter. Yeah, mind creates matter. I know, kind of provocative, right? Well, it's because your mindset creates the experiences, the people, even the things that show up in your life. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. We are so blessed that we get to chat with this amazing expert today, Rahul Karan Sharma. He is a true example of authentic leadership and global inspiration. He's not just an accomplished author, an empowerment speaker, a mindset coach. He's also someone who truly embodies his father's mantra: where there is a will, there is a way. That is the kind of mental mastery that moves mountains. It really does. Now, Rahul is deeply committed to personal growth, and that's why he has this really impressive academic background, including an MBA in human resources and a master's in organization development. He's got a knack for understanding organizational dynamics and helping individuals and teams reach their full potential. He's got great books like Habits for Miracles and the bestseller Be Action Oriented. Both books are packed with insights for leveraging your mind to create the life you want. Rahul is passionate about constantly learning and evolving, and he's dedicated to helping others learn and evolve too. Rahul, I am so grateful you had the time to join us today. Welcome.
Thank you. And thank you for the amazing introduction. It just gave me goosebumps. So your energy is contagious, Elaine, and I'm very proud to be here. And I'm sure our listeners will get a lot of information, meaningful information from our conversation.
Absolutely, because it's we are like calling to like. I am all about the mindset. My TEDx talk, Abundance is a Choice, I talk about the two things you control, and really a lot of it is your abundance mindset. So I am delighted, excited, thrilled to pieces to have this conversation with you, because I'm always trying to refine how I show up and how I can make a difference in the world just by me being me. And so often we put blocks in front of that. So I'm in danger of going off on a tangent and hogging all your conversation right away. And what I want to do is start with our intention, because our intention sets the foundation for what we're going to create together and how we're going to feel. In reality, we're all in partnership with the divine. It's not all on us to figure everything out. We're kind of like the traffic cop, directing the traffic where we want it to go. And the divine is more than happy to support us in getting to our desired destination. So I like to start with an intention, because it really connects us to the divine. Sadly, the current research shows that humans have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. And with that kind of constant distraction, it's really hard for the divine to understand what we want. So we're going to read this intention and then hold it in silence for 78 seconds. I know, I used to say, wow, that feels like a long time, but I don't do that anymore, because whatever you say is true for you. So now I always say, you know what? It's really fun, especially when you do two little techniques that make it a lot more fun. I'm going to read the intention to you, And I invite you to pick out 2 or 3 words that just feel expansive to you. They feel uplifting and empowering and enriching to you. It's the sensation you want to experience in your life. And just repeat those 2 or 3 words over and over again to yourself in your mind as we're holding this intention. That's helping you elevate your vibration, and the divine is locking into that signal just by you focusing on, this is how I'm feeling. This is the energy I want to illustrate and demonstrate and embody and experience, right? Funny how it works. We embody it first and then we experience it. Something to talk about. The second key thing that I like you to do, and I like to do, your body's a great big antenna. So what we're doing is we're collaborating with the divine and each other to get the energy moving in the direction of our intention. I mean, frankly, we don't have a script that we're following. We are making this up as we go, and with the guidance from the divine. And so just noticing what's going on in your body, any goosebumps that show up for you, or a little ripple of heat, or sometimes I feel my body just expand and open, like there's extra space between the molecules in my body. Anything like that is just a sign that it's already working. The divine's like, thumbs up, we're on the job, we're with ya, this is going to be a lot of fun. So don't overthink it. You can't get this wrong. Just relax and enjoy, because you are destined for greatness. And Rahul and I are determined to help you get there. Rahul, do you have anything you want to say, or are you ready to play?
I'm ready to play. I think you have really set the stage, and I'm sure all our listeners are just waiting to hear that statement from you.
All right, here we go. In love and light, we hold the intention that we embody our core values to automatically receive prosperity and expand our self-mastery. Thank you, divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. We give thanks, and so it is. That was incredible. Rahul, what was your experience like?
Well, it was different. It was positive difference that it made to me, and I believe that silence is very, very important in our life. So this 78-second silence really kept me thinking on those words, and those couple of words that were going in my mind. One was self mastery. I think it is so important for us to do that, because many a times we are focused on being that perfectionist. And very late in my career, I realized that there is nothing called perfectionist. It's always about excellence. So we should focus on being the best version of ourselves every single day, rather than waiting for that perfect moment or that perfect action to take. So I think self mastery was something that really triggered me.
For me too. I was focused on self-mastery. And I don't know if you heard it, but I have a couple of programs up. I forgot to close them down before I started recording. And I heard a little tone. And to me, whenever I hear a tone on the computer, it's like the divine going, check mark. Okay, yes, we got it. We're on it. This is good. I immediately got goosebumps, and then my whole body expanded and opened. I was like, oh, wow, that was incredible, because it was right as we started. And then it was really interesting. I had this memory of when my nephew was like 10, 8 or 10, and my brother was teaching him how to ride a unicycle. And I was supposed to try to learn how to ride. And I asked my nephew, Brian, okay, give me a little coaching here. What's the secret to being good on a unicycle? And he said, well, step 1 is get balance, and step 2 is wiggle a lot. I was like, well, if I can buy some balance in the store, I'm in luck. But I'm afraid that one's missed me. And I realized that the divine was reminding me that the balance is the goal that we want, and the wiggle a lot is life. That's how it works. Absolutely. That's how we create balance. That's how we create what we want. We don't get so wedded to just one direction of getting there. We have to have that mindset, that open mindset, that we are guided and supported and empowered and loved, and we can achieve much more than we imagine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think many a times we get the obstacle that come to us are the ones that we should not be bothered. I think we humans sometimes overthink. God has given that thinking power, and we overuse it. And that's where we tend to do that analysis and paralysis piece. And I think it is when you set your mind to do something, then no matter whatever is coming your way, it should not bother you. It should not bother you. And that cockroach theory comes to my mind. When there was a story I read where in a restaurant, a cockroach was going around in a group of people, and they all were just went crazy, and they created a lot of unpleasant experience for the rest of the table guests. But the moment that cockroach went on the server, he just remained silent. He just kept doing his job. Cockroach was doing his job, which is going above and beyond on his body, but he kept doing. He did not let that cockroach bother him. So I think we need to think that, what are those cockroaches in your life? Why are you giving them the power to disturb you, to be a hurdle for you? If you have set your mind to do something, just go for it.
Absolutely. I love that example. I love that story of the cockroach, because you're absolutely right. We let so many things in our lives distract us and take us off the path. And we end up focusing on all the things that are not working in our lives, all the things we do not like. And we live in a world of duality. So, of course, in order to have what we do want, what we do not want has to exist at the same time. And I don't know about you, but I read that in nature, those plants that can heal us are right next to the ones that are poisonous. The ones that's poisonous, the one that can heal us will fix what the poison one does. They come together. They grow side by side. How interesting that that's how life works. And yet we get fixated on just one thing. Now, Rahul, I know that you are super passionate about helping people master their mindset, helping them really understand how they can be their best selves, how they can show up with self-mastery. Why is this so important to you?
The reason it is important to me, because that is, as you were talking about the foundation, it's the first step. And if our foundation is not strong, we will not be able to build our future, we will be able to build our life. So I see that mindset is the foundation. And the mindset is being built by many factors. Your family, your environment, your inner circle, who are the people whom you are dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And these factors really make a difference in how we grow up. Because I'm a firm believer that whatever we are doing today, good, right, or good or bad, there is a reason why it is happening. Why you are behaving the way you are behaving, there is a reason. It is not that you learned from college or you learned from your coach. It is you learned from your life experience. You observe someone. And when we are young, we are observing people left, right, and center. That's what we are doing, because when we were young, we didn't have the gadgets. Today, our kids are having the gadgets, right? So what we were doing, we were just observing people, looking outside when we were driving in the car. So the observation skills is very, very prominent in us. And when we observe people, we suck up everything, whether it's good or bad. And then those things remain stuck in our mind. So the more important for us, how important is to learn something new, it is equally important for us to unlearn. And as a learning and development professional, I see that unlearning is more difficult. Learning something is fairly easy, but unlearning is very difficult. So
you are so right. It's really hard to let go of a lot of our preconceived notions about how things are going to happen and how they're going to show up and what it really means, right? I want to share a quick story with you because I think it's relevant. I was in a parking lot driving my husband's truck and trying to back out of a parking space. And it's a big truck. So I'm not really great with spatial awareness. And so I was very, very cautiously backing out of this parking space. And somebody went whipping through the parking lot really fast. I was thinking, boy, that is not safe. And then all of a sudden, somebody behind me honked. I don't know if they were honking at me. I just assumed they were. I didn't look, but I went from happy, happy, joy, joy to pissed off, like in a nanosecond. My mindset just went right down the tubes. And I started ranting in my mind about what a jerk and outrageous. And the divine got my attention. They were like, whoa, wait a minute. Every single moment is designed to be a blessing for you. All that stuff you're making up about what a horrible person that is, that doesn't sound like a blessing. What would be the story if it really was a blessing for you? And I had to think about it, but I was like, okay, well, maybe I was about to hit something. And so they didn't have time to put their car in park, jump out, run around, knock on my window. All they could do was honk to stop an accident, which would have cost a bunch of money, taken a lot of time, been very inconvenient. Yeah, not having an accident, that's definitely a blessing. Or maybe it was more like a thumbs up, you've got this. Because as it turned out, I was able to crank on the wheel really hard and squeak out of that parking space. I didn't think I had room, but they had a different vantage point, a different perspective. And so maybe they were giving me some encouragement. It's okay, you got this.
Yep.
And then the real message hit me. I'm the only one who can let the blessing in. I'm the bad guy who's stopping me from receiving blessings because of how I'm interpreting the world. I have a choice. I can interpret this moment as a blessing or I can interpret it as a curse. And I'm the only one making up that story. That was a game changer moment for me.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you rightly mentioned that we have a choice to be happy or to be sad. It's the choice that we make. It is not about the situation. Same situation can be interpreted differently by different people. And there is this famous series, This Is Us, which I and my wife, we just love it. And what we learned from that season was the one situation in that family, the father moving away in their life, from their life, how it impacted 3 kids in the family. It was a different impact, different emotion, how it impacted the wife. So same situation can have a multiple impact. So you do not know how things will happen to you. And when we are interacting with someone like the situation that you were sharing, we do not know what's going on in that individual's mind who honked it. We don't know. Maybe that is probably he got some happy message and he want to celebrate and he honked. You don't know. So sometimes we do overthink and sometimes we do things that everything bad is happening to me. and everything good is happening to my neighbors. I think we need to think differently, because whatever is happening, good, bad, is a divine intervention. It is happening to you for a reason. You take it as a blessing or a curse, as you mentioned, Elaine. It's very important for us to make that decent choice, make that choice which will work for us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Rahul, I asked this question of all my guests because I've never had the same two people give me the same definition. The name of the show is The Abundance Journey. Mm-hmm. Given the kind of work that you do around mindset, around showing up as your best possible self, how would you define abundance?
For me, abundance is more like a sponge. You absorb everything coming your way, and the moment you put a stop sign, whatever is coming to you will go to someone else. So just be like a sponge, let things come your way, and when you have that thought process, you will see a difference in your life, because when everything is coming your way, you will see that difference coming in. You will see that mind shift happening in your mind, because sometimes without any reason we stop people interacting with us. We stop interacting with people just because of some preconceived notion, and we restrict ourselves for no reason. So the way I look at abundance is it is for you. You just grab it. You just be like a sponge. Let it come your way.
I love that. I love that. It's such a clear message. Everything is designed to be a blessing for you, basically, is what you said. So, yeah. It's really interesting because sometimes we can watch the news or we're working with a client who's having a really difficult time, and you look at their situation and think, wow, this is a blessing. It may not seem obvious. Mm-hmm. And yet everything is designed to help us grow and expand into the fullness of who we truly are. I think one of the biggest challenges a lot of us have, I know I've been guilty of it, waiting for the mirror to smile first. And sadly, it doesn't. You're like, okay, you're first. No, we have to bring it. We have to bring the energy that we want to create in the world, that we want to experience in the world. Who we are being is what is so incredibly magnetic and important in creating the relationships that we want to experience, in creating everything that we want in our lives. So yeah, I'm so delighted to have this collaborative conversation with you, Rahul, because you get it. You really get it.
Absolutely. One thing I would say is sometimes we will not know that it is happening for us for good. We will not realize it unless and until there will someone who will bring that perspective in you that, hey, no, this happened. Oh, wow, this happened because of this reason. Sometimes we feel that, okay, we met with an accident, someone bump us, and we are in bad situation that, okay, my car is total now. Yes, it is, but think about it. Nothing happened to you. It could go either way. So you should be blessed that, okay, you are safe. Yes, your car is not safe. I understand. And I know it's a lot of hassle. I understand. But at the same time, see how you can get those positivity from that same situation. So you need to have a coach. You need to have a mentor. You need to have someone who is seeing from a distance to you and bringing that new perspective, because we are human beings. We will not be able to see everything. We have our own blind spots, and we need someone else to tell us what is our blind spot. Like in our car, we have a mirror. So who is the person in our life who is sharing with us our own blind spots?
That is so true. That is so true and very important, very helpful. So along the lines of the blind spots, what kinds of blind spots are you noticing people typically are dealing with before they read your book or before they start working with you? Where are they stuck?
So one of the common thing I have noticed that everyone wants to make a difference in their life. Everyone wants to step up. However, they are not willing to do different things. They are not willing to change. They are not willing to make an investment of time, investment of dollars, investment in friends. So, yes, they want to do it, but somewhere they don't want. And I see that their why is not very strong. And story for me, I used to smoke for almost 15 years, tried multiple ways to quit on it, didn't work. And maybe that probably today I'm thinking maybe my why was not that strong. The moment my why became strong, it was 27th of March 2011 was the last day I had a smoke. And it is all about the why. So that your why need to be very strong. Once your why is strong, then you can conquer the world and you can really make things work for you. So
Yes.
why is something I see is missing in most of the people who wants to bring a change but don't want to change.
Isn't that ironic?
Mm-hmm.
It's so ironic. We want the world, the outside world, to shift and change. And yet always it's something inside us that has to be willing to change before the outside world changes. It's just like I said, we were talking about waiting for the mirror to smile first. We have to bring the energy. We have to create the opportunity. We have to look for the relationship. We can't stay at home watching TV and expect to have the relationship of your dreams. That's not how it works, right? We have to put ourselves out there. So what have you noticed your clients or your readers have told you that they were finally willing to shift inside that allowed that external transformation?
So one of the approach that you started when we in our show about the intention. So it has to be that inside out approach rather than outside in approach. So the readers are sharing with me, number one is how impactful was it for them to execute the tips, execute the strategies mentioned in the book, because it was very easily laid down. And they did not overthink, they just believed in making it happen. So once you know your why, then you need to keep moving on. Then you don't need to put your head. Once you have an expert in your life, once you have a coach, then take a step back. Then let your coach do everything, because otherwise you will confuse yourself. Because if you would be so smart, probably you would have done by now. So when you have hired a coach, take a step back. Even if you do not agree, just move on, because you need to trust that person. You need to trust the process. So the guests or the readers are sharing with me that they're able to implement, and that mindset shift that is coming to them is the power of positive mind talk, the power of positivity in life. Because when you start thinking positive, then the world around you gives you that positivity. Because
so true.
If you are negative, everyone around you will be negative.
Yeah.
So that change has to come inside you about that positivity. So those are a couple of things that I'm hearing.
Yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that. And I wanted to share something else. There is an exercise from the 1930s, and it's called the 7-day mental diet. Mm. And with the 7-day mental diet, you avoid negativity. Mm. You don't read the news or watch the news or allow yourself to be distracted by negativity. And it's a very challenging thing for people, because they'll have a conversation with a friend and start complaining about something that's going on in their lives. It's like, no. And I got this divine download when I was struggling with the 7-day mental diet. I'm like, why do you keep showing me all these natural disasters and horrific things that are happening? What's up with that? Mm. And the divine told me, look, we're in partnership, sweetie. You're like the fireman holding the hose. We're the water. We're going to put out the fire. But you got to direct that hose to the fire. Mm. You're the one connecting the dots. So whenever you hear or think or feel resistance, you hear negativity of any kind, that's us tapping you on the shoulder saying, sweetheart, it's your turn. Time to send love and blessings to every single person who is impacted, or exposed or involved in any way, shape, or form, send love and blessings. And you don't have to be super specific. We know what they need. We'll take care of all the details. All you have to do is stop viewing people as victims or villains. That doesn't matter. View them as whole and complete and on their spiritual journey. We're here to help take care of everything when they're willing to receive it. You got to send it.
Yep.
So that shifted everything for me because, yeah, we live in a world of duality. You know, what is wanted is right next to what is not wanted. Where we put our attention is how we direct our energy. And when we direct positive energy with that feeling of love and delight and wonder, we don't have to understand what's going to happen. And I think one of the biggest challenges, certainly something I've wrestled with in my life, is trying to figure out, yeah, but then what? You know, so what's the outcome going to be? If this, then that. And that's a human perspective of if this, then that. We want some guarantee of what's going to happen if I invest all this time in sending love and blessings. Well, it doesn't take very long. And it makes a massive, massive difference.
Absolutely. I would say that outcome is not in our hand. What is in our hand is the effort. So yes, we need to worry about the outcome, but then you are worrying about something that is not in your control. What is in your control is your effort. What is in your control is your day-to-day duties. So focus on those aspects. And I like that story that you were sharing about looking at people with positivity. I think most of us, we are not blessed to have people around us who will say things, you do it, I'm with you. You carry on, you have my support. We have people, oh, don't do that. Oh, how will you do that? You have never done it. So there are a lot of people who are pulling you down rather than people pulling you up. So be the person who is pulling someone up. Don't be the person who is pulling people down, because if you are pulling someone today, there will be 10 others who will be pulling you up tomorrow. So I think that's where I would say that our people need to think and be the one who is giving that comfort level. I will support you. Unconditional support, not with something that you give me this, I will give, not a barter system, but unconditional support.
Absolutely. And that doesn't mean that you're going to do it too. Like, I have zero interest in climbing Mount Everest. It's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. But there are people who want to, and more power to them. You know, good on you. If that's what really excites and delights you, I am grateful that there are people who want to fix cars, because I don't. And doctors, as far as I'm concerned, all that stuff on the inside, there's a reason why we don't have to look at it, because ew, who wants to see that? But thank heaven there are people who are excited to do that. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody has a role to play. And you're absolutely right. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you, especially when you don't, who see your potential and are excited for you, who can also help you see a different perspective on life. Because we really do, literally, in our eyes, have blind spots. And the ironic thing is, our minds make up a lot of the stuff that our eyes supposedly are seeing. Mm-hmm. A lot of it's just, well, I know the chair's over here, so I'm just going to see a chair over there, because that's where it always is. Mm-hmm. And that's how that works. So having another perspective from someone else who loves you and believes in you and is supporting you is incredibly empowering. Yes, I highly recommend that. Absolutely. So I have to ask you, Rahul, if there was like a baby step we could take to just get going on improving our mindset and creating our reality anew from the mind, what would be a baby step that you would recommend?
For me, it would be start small. Small, which means that don't have ambitious goal when you are starting. Start small, take one thing at a time. Okay. Number two would be, it is not any non-negotiable, which is a believe in yourself. Because you cannot do anything unless and until you have that belief that, yes, I can do this. And the third baby step, I would say, Elaine, is having an accountability partner. And that accountability partner could be your friend, your mother, your spouse, your kids, anyone. Because most of the time, we have a great intention, we have a great why, but something goes on. And then we take a step back. At that time, you need that person, that accountability partner of yours who will shake you up. That, hey, let me bring you a coffee for you. You get ready for your gym. Or let me do this for you. You get ready for your work, whatever the case may be. So that accountability partner is very, very important. So start with these three things. Start small, believe in yourself, and have an accountability partner.
I really love that. And the believe in yourself part, that can be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to invite everybody to get curious, get interested, get a little excited, and get creative. Start talking to people. And I know that people often say, don't share your big, big dream. That's okay. You can say, hey, I'm looking for a resource, or I'm looking for somebody who's already done this kind of a thing, or it would be so exciting if I could. And then find different resources, find books, do a Google search, just get curious, get interested. The doors will open for you. You will be guided towards your next step. And yes,
Absolutely.
When you're working with a professional coach, somebody who gets your big picture and can help you stay on track, that's really, really useful. I'm a big believer in working with coaches. But believing in yourself is truly when you get out of the way and you let the divine flow through you as you.
Yep. And my coach used to say, Elaine, that whenever you take a step towards your goal is also taking a step towards you. And initially I was thinking, what the heck is talking about? But then that's what it happens. Let's say if you have to take 10 steps, you take one, goal is also taking, and then you are moving and you meet midway. That's where you meet up your goals. So having that person in you, for you, who will tell you these intelligent things, that your blind spots, or probably will support you when you are all down, very, very important. Very, very important.
Well, you are so generous, Rahul. I was really blown away by the free gift that you offered to our guests. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So my free book is the Be Action Oriented. It's an ebook, and I see a lot of us, we fall short when it comes to taking action. So in this book, I wrote about 5 keys for you to take consistent action and get you what you want. So it's available on the website that would be there on our show notes. You can just log in there and download your free copy.
I can't wait. Because you are such an expert. You're so good at mindset. And often we just don't realize what we're ignoring. And it's there all along. I mean, it could hit you in the face. But if you're not looking for it, or you don't have the right vantage point to see it, and that's what I find so incredibly valuable about this conversation, because we were talking about living our core values and showing up as who we truly intend to be, so that we experience that prosperity and demonstrate that self-mastery. And the challenge with self-mastery is it is just like riding a unicycle. You got to find your balance, and then you wiggle a lot to try to maintain that balance. That's what it looks like when it's working. But Rahul, I'm so grateful for all the many gifts you've given us today. We always turn the tables on our guests here at The Abundance Journey, because we know when we give is when we receive even more. What can we do to support you?
I would say that when you read the book, whatever you are learning, whatever you are able to implement, share with your friends, share with your colleagues, share with your family members, and take advice from, take the learnings from those baby steps that you are taking. And as long as you are able to share that journey, I think that would be a bigger gift. If you want any help in terms of coaching, I'm always available. If you want me to speak about my books at any of your engagements, I will be more than happy to join you. And it will be a pleasure to be part of your journey.
Oh, what a blessing. Wow, I can't believe this. I've got so many notes, and now I've got to pick only one thing to do the activate abundance process around. You're making my life difficult, Rahul, in a really beautiful way. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody stick around because we're going to activate abundance in just a minute. Hi, it's Elaine Starling, the Abundance Ambassador, and I know since you're listening to this show or watching this show, The Abundance Journey, you really want to experience more abundance in your life. Well, that's why I wrote the book, 5 Steps to Activate Your Abundance. It's available for sale right now from Amazon, from barnesandnoble.com, and many international sellers. And I want you to pick up a copy because I'm really opening the kimono here and sharing all of the information you need to experience abundance in every single aspect of your life. The book's divided into 3 parts. Part 1 is called Meeting the Divine. This is where I share my near-death experience and the conversation I got to have with our higher power during my stroke. In Part 2, Messages from the Divine, I share the best practices that I was given, the secret sauce in how life actually works. And so you understand really why you're here and how you can make the most of your life so you love every single moment. And then in the Part 3 is Partnering with the Divine. That's where I go into each of the 5 steps to activate your abundance and explain exactly why it works so well. So take a moment to pick up a copy. It's available as an ebook, a paperback book, an audiobook, and a video course. So however you like to absorb information, abundance is waiting for you. Rahul is amazing. I love this guy. I love his energy. I love his enthusiasm. I love his ideas. I love his perspective. I have 2 pages of notes, and I had to think of just one thing to do the Activate Abundance segment around. So, I'm going to cheat a little bit and combine a couple of things because he was talking about resistance, and that resistance is a sign that you don't have a big enough why. Step 1 is gratitude. Always gratitude. Gratitude is the acorn of your abundance tree. So I always start with gratitude. And of course, my gratitude is that Rahul shared so many brilliant ideas with us. I also have a great deal of gratitude for the aha that he gave me. The step 2 is to acknowledge something you heard that was an aha for you. And so he was talking about resistance and how your why isn't big enough. But I think he also tied it in with blind spots, which is a really innovative approach to resistance. Resistance comes up because you have a blind spot, because there is something there that you just aren't getting a perspective on. That's why you're pushing back against something that's designed to be a blessing for you. Whoa. Okay, step 3, appreciate the difference it can make in your life. If I start since I am now always viewing resistance as a sign of a blind spot, I know where to look. He gave me the secret sauce. He gave me the magnoscope, the magnifying glass. I'm making up my own words now. He gave me exactly where to go to expand my ability to create what I want in my life, to change my mindset. We're talking about how mind creates matter. And this is the secret ingredient that you can use to create matter. So instead of resisting resistance, you can look at resistance as, oh, this is a blessing. This is pointing out to me where I have an opportunity to grow the most, and I'm just not seeing it because I don't have the right perspective. I need to get another outlook. I need to get a different viewpoint, a new vantage point. How could this be a blessing for me? I need to ask a smarter question, right? Whoa, mind blown. That was brilliant. Step 4, we're going to activate it. We've got 3 different ways we can activate this abundance. We can grab a calendar and schedule time to do it. I count journaling as under the calendar side of things, because often when you're living life and you're going through the moment, you don't know what's happening until you write it down and you really see it. Because journaling takes it out of the mind and puts it into the heart, where you can truly absorb the lessons that are present for you. So I am definitely going to be journaling about the resistance that I feel and how I can work around it to get a different perspective, a new vantage point on what's really happening and the true blessing that is there for me. If I can't see it, I know somebody can help me. Okay, the second way that we can activate abundance is we can create a physical trigger, like crossing your fingers or tugging on your earlobe, as a reminder that resistance is just asking you to get a different vantage point. This is an opportunity for you. So that's not quite going to work for me. That's okay. I prefer the journaling part. And then the third option is to declare what you're going to do, and especially declare it to an accountability buddy who can see, I think you're kind of wiggling around that particular thing. Is there some resistance happening for you right now? And what might that resistance be doing for you? Because resistance is always about trying to protect yourself and trying to make yourself feel better in the moment. And who you are is this amazing blessing, this incredible genius who aligns with the divine to let the divine flow through you and manifest miracles in your life and the lives of those around you. So step 5, celebrate your progress. This is what it looks like when it's working. It's not about an overnight one and done. That would be so boring. I mean, honestly, you want to go through life celebrating the mystery, the majesty, the incredible opportunities that are there for you in every single moment, because every moment is a blessing, especially the ones that you feel resistance around. Thanks to Rahul for turning that into a blessing. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll look forward to seeing you next time for the Abundance Journey.
You've been listening to the Abundance Journey Show with Elaine Starling. Visit theabundancejourney.com/podcast gifts to access today's gift, as well as gifts from our other guests. Tune in every week to activate abundance in your life and business. If something resonated with you, please share it with your friends so they can benefit too. Keep activating abundance, and we'll see you in the next episode.